Okay, everyone, I got a package in the mail yesterday or the day before, and somehow it might have been delivered to the wrong person and brought back down. But this should be a bunch of pens. So I thought I'd have you be disappointed or pleasantly surprised, depending. This is the one I am looking for right here. No. Yes. Perfect. Good. Okay, so what I got in here is this, which is essentially useless. I mean, it's not useless. I use them from time to time, but I've got a million of them. Then we have a Parker, what is this, 21. Parker 21. Parker 21, oh, sorry, I should have this, start over again. This is useless, more or less. Then we've got a Parker 21. Parker 21s are perfectly fine, but they do have a common flaw is either there's a crack here or a crack here or a crack here. There's the plastic they used on these pens was not great, but I don't notice any cracks here, so it seems to be fine. I'm just dipping these in water right now, and I'll try to write a real word. I've got some complaints about that my scribbles all look alike. Let's just aim. There we go. Thank you. This is a word. Actually, 4. No. 6. Dough. Now 9. Now see what happens when you write words? You end up writing more than one, and then you're screwed. Okay, so this is working fine. There are many people out there that are very happy with a pen like this. Ta-da! Maybe you are going to be happy with a pen like this. Let's look at this one. No crack there. Seems to be no crack here. Aha! Try this word. Another word. I'm filling these with just water, dirty water, and it's loosening up the constipated, dried up ink that was in there. See, I'm making scribbles again. Sorry. Word. Does this, let me look at it again. Okay, no. No cracks. 2 perfectly good Parker 21s. This is an off-brand desk pen that has a steel or gold-plated nib, and it's warped. And is there any part of this pen that could be usable? Maybe this could be used to make a slightly better off-brand pen, desk pen work. It's missing a pressure bar, whatever. This one, same deal. This is another desk pen, off-brand desk pen. Equally uninteresting. This is a cap for a, actually I can use this to fix a pen. Where's the pen I need to fix? I sold this pen to someone and they ended up breaking something. Something broke. The cap broke, but I must have fixed it already. Ah. See, there's the broken cap. It somehow broke. Anyway, I guess I forgot that I fixed it. Is this even the right color? Eversharp Skyline pens. Sometimes the blue looks like black. This is black. Okay. Done. Okay, the pen of actual interest in this entire lot that I got is this one. This is why I bid on it. I didn't need 21s. I didn't need broken pens. But this one is called a Parker VP. It says VP somewhere. Come on, get in focus. Well, it says VP. There you go. And VP stands for very personal. And it had an aerometric fill, which you would fill from the bottle. Rather than dipping the whole pen in, you were supposed to take this out and just fill from the bottle with the insert and then put it back in. It sort of, I don't want to break it, but there we go. See, it has you're supposed to fill it like that and then put it in. So it's sort of like a refillable cartridge. See, to fill, remove this Parker Clean Filler. Grip here, pull out. Dip neck in ink, press ribbed bar 4 times, and then put it back in. Now what made this VP a VP is it has a little gauge right there. See that thing that says 0, or does it say A? What the hell does it say? Loop. Where's my loop? Do I have a loop anywhere? Here we go. Loop. Well, it has a little 0. And in looking at this, unfortunately, it looks like there's a little crack. Or is that just dirt? I can't tell. Where's my pen repairman spit? Pen repairman spit, by the way, is, I should bottle it and send it to people. No, I think it's a crack. Anyway, what you were meant to do with this thing is rotate this back and forth like this. It rotates, and you would set it to be at your personal point, your personal thing. And there's 2 little knurled facets on this 3-faceted shell that was supposed to fit your fingers. And my fingers, the fingers in question, are your thumb and your index finger. And you would then dial this to the degree that you wanted. And maybe I liked it there. shit. I see that there's another problem with this pen. It's missing its little end. Oh well, it's still probably worth the money I spent on the whole bunch. I got two good pens and this, which is what part isn't broken? The cap and the nib and this thing. This needs a thing, needs a new shell, but there you go. So am I happy on the happy-ometer? Do I have a smiley face or a frowny face? Well, it could have been a much happier face, because this pen, this VP, is relatively rare a pen. So had it not had a problem, it would make me happy. See, there I am happy. If it was all broken, then I'd be sad. But because these two are fine, and I was sort of expecting these to be broken, and this, I've got other caps. This has enough good parts. The nib is rare by itself, and the caps are rare. These don't fit on anything else. They fit only on this pen. So, and I may have a barrel for one of these. I might even have another one of these somewhere. But these are rare Parker pens. For good reason, because they're kind of stupid. It sort of assumes that you always write exactly the same way. Here I can rotate the nib and the everything. If this didn't have those little things, I could hold it any way I want. Now I have to sort of hold it like this, because holding it elsewhere is harder in a way. This works fine, as does this. Except, here we go. Write a word. I had thought I was going to get this package in the mail a couple days ago, and I was going to show you other modern Parker pens. The Parker 61 is sort of and what I imagine they thought this was an improvement on the 51. It was a pretty stupid idea. These were meant to be filled with no moving parts. And what you would do is you'd unscrew the back, set this thing in your ink, and inside of this essentially is a sponge. What it actually is a piece of paper or a piece of plastic that's, this long, rolled up, and there's little bumps on the plastic which keep the surfaces of the rolled up thing a little bit space between them. So rather than a tight little roll like this, it was sort of like this, with spaces in between. And what you would do is you would fill this by putting the back of this in ink, counting to 10 or whatever number, wiping off the end of this, and the ink would be sucked into the pen by capillary action. The same thing, the same process that makes the ink go out of the pen onto the paper. Now, my thought is, what's to keep here's your little molecule of ink. And there's capillary action that way toward the back of the pen, and there's capillary action toward the front of the pen. And this little molecule of ink is supposed to make up its mind which way it wants to go. It might want to just stay in the womb rather than going out into the real world where it's going to meet with despair and tragedy. You know, stay inside the pen. So even if it worked, let's say it actually worked, and that molecule of ink always knew to go that way, out toward the front. That space filled up with all sorts of plastic is going to make this not hold as much ink. So you're going to have to fill it a lot more, many more times. And there's really, once, their ink gets dried up in there, it's never going to come out. It's just going to turn to dust and it's going to get clogged and you're going to be screwed. So even the Parker Pen Company got rid of that idea and put these in. So the 61 later on had a converter or cartridges, because even they realized how stupid it was. See, this thing, where did it go? Where's the pen I just bought? This is supposed to have something like that on the back, except it would be a gold trim with it's supposed to look like this. And I don't even know if these would fit. Are they the same one? Write your answers below. The 61 did have fancy caps with these rainbow patterns of 2 different colors of metal. These are rather dinged up versions of that cap, but sometimes they're quite lovely. The first edition of this pen had this little raised thing that says first edition. Stupid. Can you say that? Stupid. There's Parker 61 Classic. Now, how can a classic be a first edition? How can a classic be new? Can someone explain that to me? The only fountain pen that fills by itself. Look at this. This printing costs more than the pen. Remove from the ink slowly. Now why is that? Reservoir exterior surface cleans itself. Just replace the barrel. To change ink color, that's impossible. What does it say? Send it to the factory. Any slight discoloration of new ink will disappear. Well, I don't believe that one bit. This is a nice little instruction thing, though, isn't it? Oh, liquid lead pencil. That was a mistake. Anyway, these pens are often fraught with cracks too. The plastic they used on these were not great. Parker 61 Classic, new. It's new and it's a classic, both at the same time. Again, write your answers below. Explain how that's possible. Turquoise, I showed you these pens. That's the one I just bought. I showed you that one. I didn't show you these two. These are more varieties of the 61. They're slightly thinner than a 51. The cap doesn't have the same kind of clutch system as a 51. It doesn't have exactly the same oral pleasure that you get from a 51. Now what's wrong with this? Does Parker need help with their milling? Why is one cap longer than the other? Presumably one is for the later version or something. Or do they just need... See, here's another short capped one. Short cap. Well, the first edition is presumably the longer cap. I mean, the correct cap. The first cap goes on the first edition pen. Then there's a shorter cap for some reason. I don't know. I'm sure someone online can explain all of this to you because I can't. It's all a mess in my little head. Here's another. This is a Flighter. Someone fed this to the dog. Or someone tried to take this out. I suppose that's what those plier marks or something. Flighters are interesting to look at. I like the Flighter 61. I used this pen specifically once upon a time for a particular job and I really enjoyed it. I don't like the Parker 51 Flighter, even though I should. But the balance just doesn't seem right to me. The 61 Flighter is fine. You can see too that this is the shell here, the black part is slightly misshaped. It's shrunk, probably through heat. Oh well. Sorry I don't have anything more fun to talk about, but there you go. Say goodbye, Pierre. Goodbye.